Hello and welcome back to another episode. This morning, I just want to share the love. I really do. I have 3 funky things to share with you that I'm fairly certain you'll enjoy watching. 2 of these things are things that you can go and watch right now. Well, you know, after you've finished watching this video, obviously, but right here on YouTube at your leisure, you can watch 2 of these things. And the third is something that we went to see on Saturday night at the cinema, and it was glorious. In fact, let's start there with Alita Battle Angel. Boy oh boy, boy oh boy, boy oh boy oh boy, boy oh boy. Boy oh boy, was that a good film. And also a real confirmation of what friends and colleagues have been telling me throughout my life, in fact. That I would enjoy Battle Angel, but I've just been so for some reason not quite ready or willing to engage with what they were saying. I don't know why. I remember someone actually offering me, they had a bootleg VHS or something in the mid-90s of the OVA, and they went, "You watch this now, and, you know, in school." And I was like, no, I'm gonna go and watch Batman and Robin. Oh man, but you know, better late than never. And I can say, without having read the manga or watched the OVA, I'm going to try and get hold of both of those as soon as possible. I can tell that this film is a really great anime adaptation. It has the atmosphere, the density in terms of world building, the character of an anime epic, for example, like Akira or something like that. But it's been treated in live action with such careful hands, such that it doesn't alienate people. For example, I went with my lovely wife, and she was thoroughly entertained as well. And she likes anime, but it didn't have too. What I'm saying is, this was a very, very well made adaptation of a Japanese animation from the 80s or 90s. In fact, I wrote some notes when I came out of the cinema. Need to try the manga and OVA ASAP. Yep. This film had little bits of Tron, Ghost in the Shell, Mega Man, oddly. There's a little moment actually when she just looks like Mega Man. It's perfect. And a little bit of Dr. Light actually in there as well. Terminator and RoboCop, and the Terminator bit kind of makes sense, because this has been in Jim Cameron's pocket for decades. He had this project on the back boiler on a shelf somewhere. He's produced it. I think he co-wrote the script for this movie. Directing chops goes to Robert Rodriguez in this instance, and really the leaps and bounds from Spy Kids to this. You can, well, actually, no. To be fair, you can see little threads where Spy Kids was clearly influenced by some of this sort of material, and also the handling of the CGI elements. So actually, this is just Robert Rodriguez growing up. This isn't him suddenly getting better as a filmmaker. This is just him developing, and so good. And more rolled into one gloriously dense world-building story. That's basically what I wrote in my notes. And it's great. Alita Battle Angel delivers. And even though when I first saw the trailer, I wasn't really sure what to make of it, especially with the big eyes on our hero. She looks like a walking, talking Snapchat filter, which I found distracting in the trailer. But in the film, it makes perfect sense. You know, like 2/3 at least of the world are people who are cybernetically augmented in some way, like an arm or a leg or something, and she fits in with that world. It's glorious. It's a really good anime adaptation, and although it's not, I wouldn't say, you know, immediately that it is up there with, for example, Terminator yet, or for example The Matrix or something like that, in terms of, you know, a mind-blowing cinematic experience. It has the themes, even Blade Runner actually as well. It has the themes of cyberpunk, what is it to be human, tech noir, and anime all rolled into one. And so actually, as they add to this series, which I hope to God they do, they at least have one more film, this could become a great, truly great trilogy or whatever. But at the moment, it's simply a fantastic fulfillment of the promise of a live-action anime. And I loved it. So that's number one. You should go and see it if you can. And if you can, at least see it in 3D or IMAX 3D as we did. Because don't get me wrong, I don't often just drop money on IMAX 3D, but this one's worth it. It's really good. Number two, coming down from IMAX 3D to your phone screen or your computer screen, here on YouTube, in the past few days, past couple of weeks, we have discovered, my amazing wife and I, we have discovered Jelle's Marble Runs, or Jelly's Marble Runs. I'll put a link below in the video description, but you need to watch it. It's excellent. It's so cool and such a... Well, okay, it's cool if you're into that kind of world. So I think the reason we were recommended it just before it went viral was because we often watch domino videos, and we have watched these great big sort of marble machines. So you can these sequences of marbles going through different things that go around tables, and so we have watched some of those videos together. They're quite nice to just sort of get slightly lost in a rabbit hole with. But the marble runs, and in particular the Marble Olympics, are genuinely joyful. They are the king of, admittedly, a fairly niche genre here on YouTube. That's without a doubt. But they're just a joy to get lost in the rabbit hole with. Not this Saturday just gone, but the one before. We were just, had a bacon sandwich Saturday morning, put YouTube on, and we were really sucked in to these Marble Olympics. And I think part of it is the commentary. Greg Woods is an excellent sports commentator. Seemingly he had an interest in commentating on, for example, Formula 1 car races, and then did an unofficial commentary for one of Jelle's Marble runs, I think a sand rally run. And then the two of them started to work together, and they found a formula that really works. And you can see on Jelle's YouTube channel how his technique has evolved over the years, the way that he sets up angles, the way that he films the races. But then with Greg's commentary comes a real personality as well. In the sand rally, there's an infamous marble, or not marble, called Red Number 3. You'll have to watch to see what I'm talking about. There's various teams in the Marble Olympics which have serious following online. The Limers, the Orangers, Team Galactic, Team Momo. There's quite a story behind Team Momo, and we love it. We just love it. The effort that goes into these videos really pays off, because it feels like you're watching sports without having to watch sports. in a scale that's just adorable. There is an opening and closing ceremony for the Olympics, for example, and because we're dealing with marbles which are broadly similar, it's like watching a bunch of athletes who are similarly skilled, similarly well trained, undertaking these different events and competing for that top prize. Like I say, it's like watching sports without having to watch sports. It's magnificent, and we've both been loving it. So that's number two, Jelle's Marble Runs. Well, hopefully you'll like it. If you might not, you might think it's just too weird, but if you do love it, thank me later. Number three, I finished watching last night around 2 o'clock in the morning, and it was a really great time to complete this little YouTube journey. A series that I've been watching for the past several years unfold before my eyes with immense joy and pleasure. I talk, of course, of Hellsing Ultimate Abridged. What an achievement from Team 4-Star. And I know that this final episode was actually released, I think, back in December, but I finally got around to watching it last night. But over the past several years, these guys have consistently entertained and surprised me with how they've been able to treat the original anime, which I do have on DVD, with this humorous abridged storyline, but also in such a necessary way. The first episode, which was the first episodes I saw, was just the antidote I needed. It was the right thing at the right time for me, because I was so depressed at the state of vampires, especially in pop culture. The blight of Twilight was strong when I first saw the first episode, where our hero Alucard, who incidentally he's just on the wall just behind me there, Alucard, kicks in a door and blasts the hell out of Edward Cullen and Bella. It's just delightful, and from there, from such a gloriously gory opening, the whole thing is unapologetic. It's gory, it's got low and highbrow, but always quite sexualized humor, and it's excellent. Just excellent. If you're easily offended, don't watch it, but I don't think many people who watch my videos are easily offended. I think we're all a bit more mature than that. But it's just wonderful. If you want to get lost in something, 10 parts, roughly 20 minutes each, it's great fun. That's number 3. Recommendation number 3, Hellsing Ultimate Abridged. It's just wonderful. It really is excellent. It's just go and watch it. Go and watch it. And the thing is, I find myself wanting to quote things at you. You done goofed, this kind of thing. But you haven't watched it yet, so go and watch it, and hopefully you'll see why I love it. It's just brilliant. So there we go. 3 things, 3 little bits of love I have shared with you that are well worth your attention and time. And even if you don't absolutely adore these 3, I think they're well worth just checking out, because they're all quirky in their own way, and they all have earned, as it were, my recommendation. So check them out if you're at all curious. As ever guys, until next time, do take care. Bye bye.